Welcome to the Sleepy Snail, a tale of balance and the magic of sleep in a vibrant garden. Picture yourself in this garden where nature's whispers guide you to tranquility. Join Sleepy in his journey to embrace rest and the wisdom of the elder snail. As you drift into slumber, let Sleepy's story lead you into peaceful dreams where nature and rest harmonize in serene harmony. Sweet dreams, dear listener, in the world of the Sleepy Snail. Chapter 1. The Dawn of Slumber. In a lush, vibrant garden, bustling with the activities of its tiny inhabitants, lived a snail named Sleepy. Despite his name, Sleepy was anything but lethargic. He was known throughout the garden for his tireless energy and his enthusiasm for exploring every leaf and petal. The garden was a kaleidoscope of colors, with butterflies fluttering, bees buzzing, and birds chirping melodiously. In this picturesque setting, Sleepy's shell, a delicate spiral of soft browns and greens, shimmered in the sunlight as he moved slowly, but purposefully along the garden paths, Sleepy on with the fresh breeze of the sun, which gently caressed the garden, waking up its inhabitants. He would start his day by visiting his favorite spots: the dewy leaves of the lettuce, the fragrant petals of the roses, and the towering stems of the sunflowers that seemed to touch the sky. Sleepy loved his routine, which included helping the ants gather food, playing hide and seek with the ladybugs, and occasionally racing with the notoriously slow-moving tortoise who lived above the old oak tree. Despite his busy schedule, Sleepy never complained. He enjoyed being an integral part of the garden's daily life. However, as the days went by, something began to change. Sleepy started to feel more tired than usual. Initially, he brushed it off, thinking it was just another busy day, but the fatigue began to linger. His usual brisk pace became a sluggish crawl, and his vibrant eyes seemed to lose a bit of their sparkle. His friends in the garden started to notice too, but Sleepy shrugged off their concerns, attributing his tiredness to his active lifestyle. Moonlit, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Sleepy met the elder snail. The elder snail was wise and respected, known for her deep knowledge of the garden and its ways. She had a calm demeanor and a patient voice that immediately put one at ease. As Sleepy shared his troubles with her, she listened intently, her eyes reflecting the wisdom of her years. After hearing Sleepy's, the elder snail nodded thoughtfully. "Sleepy," she said in her gentle voice, "it seems you are neglecting an essential part of your day rest. No matter how busy or exciting our days are, we must not forget the importance of sleep. It rejuvenates us, giving us the energy we need to live our life to the fullest." Sleepy was surprised. He had never considered sleep to be that important. For him, it was just a way to pass the night until another day of adventures began. The elder snail's words, however, sparked a curiosity in him. Realized that he knew very little about sleep and its benefits. That night, as the garden settled into a peaceful silence, and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Sleepy made a decision. He would embark on a journey to understand the mysteries of sleep and learn how to balance his love for adventure with the need for rest. As he closed his eyes, tucked in the curve of a soft leaf, he wondered what discoveries the night would bring. As the sun rose, casting a golden glow over the garden, Sleepy awoke from his leafy bed, feeling slightly more refreshed than usual. With a newfound resolve to understand sleep, he began his day. But not before noticing the subtle beauty of the morning something he often overlooked in his rush to start his activities. Sleepy's daily routine was a whirlwind of tasks and interactions. He assisted the fates in their relentless quest for food, forming a tiny convoy as they marched to and fro. He joined the ladybugs in their search for aphids, a game of sorts, helping maintain the balance of the garden. Sleepy even spent time with the bees, marveling at their dedication as they buzzed from flower to flower, pollinating and conversing in a mysterious, infant language. But it wasn't all work for Sleepy. He loved to indulge in the simple pleasures of the garden. He would glide over the cool, moist soil, feeling its richness beneath him, or climb to the top of a tall spout to gaze at the garden's expansive sea of green, dotted with colorful flowers, under the vast moon sky. He relished the sweet nectar of the flowers and the refreshing taste of the morning dew. Despite the joy these activities brought him, Sleepy couldn't ignore the creeping fatigue that seemed to shadow him. His movements became slower, and his usual enthusiasm started to wane. His friends began to express concern, noticing the change in his demeanor. A once vivacious snail, always at the heart of the garden's hustle and bustle, was now often found resting quietly under a leaf or beside a stone. This shift in Sleepy's behavior worried his friends. They had to miss his help with their food gathering, the ladybugs aligned for his playful presence, and even the bees noticed his absence among the flowers. They all whispered among themselves, wondering what had happened to their energetic friend. Amidst this busy life, Sleepy's thoughts kept drifting back to the elder snail's words. He realized that he had been so caught up in the activities and responsibilities of the garden that he had neglected his own well-being. The importance of rest and sleep, as the elder snail had pointed out, was something he had never seriously considered. As the day turned to evening, and the garden bathed in the soft light of the setting sun, Sleepy made his way back to his favorite sleeping spot, a quiet corner under the broad leaves of a hibiscus. He thought about how his busy lifestyle was affecting him and knew it was time to make a change. He needed to find a balance between his love for the garden and his own health. Sleepy decided that starting tonight, he would pay more attention to his sleep. He would create a routine that allowed him to enjoy his activities in the garden, while also ensuring he got the rest he needed. With this thought, Sleepy closed his eyes, hoping to wake up to a brighter, more energetic tomorrow. The next morning, Sleepy woke up with a sense of clarity he hadn't felt in a long time. As he embarked on his daily activities, he was more mindful of his energy levels. However, as the day progressed, the familiar signs of fatigue began to creep in, clouding his newfound enthusiasm. It started subtly, yawn here, a slow blink there. Sleepy found himself stopping more often, resting on cool leaves or under the shade of a flower. His movements, usually purposeful and direct, became lethargic. He noticed that he was falling behind in his usual tasks. Gathering food at the ends took longer, and playing with the ladybugs felt more like a chore than a delight. This change didn't go unnoticed. The garden inhabitants, who were used to Sleepy's vibrant presence, started to show concern. The butterflies, who often danced around him, fluttered closer, asking if he was all right. The spiders, usually aloof, paused their web weaving to check on him. Even the tortoise, known for his slow pace, remarked on Sleepy's sluggishness. Most evident sign of Sleepy's fatigue was during the midday feast, a time when all garden creatures came together to share their findings and enjoy each other's company. Sleepy, usually at the center of the gathering, sharing stories and laughs, found himself on the outskirts, struggling to keep his eyes open. His friends, mind distant, muffled by the fog of tiredness that enveloped him. This realization hit Sleepy hard. He had always prided himself on being an active and contributing member of the garden community. Seeing himself unable to participate fully was disheartening. The joy he derived from his daily activities was diminishing, replaced by an overwhelming sense of exhaustion. As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden light over the garden, Sleepy knew he couldn't ignore his condition any longer. The elder snail's words echoed in his mind, reminding him of the importance of rest. He understood that his disregard for sleep was not only affecting his health, but also his ability to be the lively, helpful snail he wanted to be. That night, as Sleepy prepared to rest, he reflected on his lifestyle. He realized that in his eagerness to be a part of everything, he had overlooked his need for sleep. This neglect had caught up with him, manifesting as the fatigue had now weighed heavily on his tiny shoulders. Sleepy knew it was time for a change. He needed to prioritize his health and well-being, and that started at understanding and respecting the power of sleep. With this resolve, Sleepy curled up under his favorite leaf, looking forward to the guidance he hoped to receive from the elder snail. He was ready to embark on a journey to rediscover the joys of life, powered by the restorative magic of sleep. The following day, under the soft, warm hues of the early morning sun, Sleepy made his way to the elder snail's dwelling, a cozy nook under the roots of the old oak tree. As he journeyed, he felt a mix of anticipation and apprehension. He was eager to learn, but also apprehensive about what changes he might need to make. The elder snail welcomed Sleepy with a knowing smile. "Why, see you have given some thought to our last conversation," she said gently. "Yes, Elder," Sleepy replied, his voice tinged with weariness. "I realize now how much I've been neglecting my sleep, and I want to change that. But I don't know where to start." The elder snail nodded sagely. "The first step to change is recognition, Sleepy. You have done well to see the need for it. Now, let us explore the path to better sleep. She began by explaining the basics of sleep and its significance. Sleep is not just a period of rest, sleepy. It's a vital process for all creatures. It rejuvenates our bodies, repairs tissues, and consolidates our memories. For a snail, it's even more crucial as it helps in cell growth and maintaining a healthy mucus layer. Sleep isn't intently absorbing every word. Our elder snail's explanation was eye-opening. He had never realized the complexity and importance of sleep. Your lifestyle, continued the elder snail, though admirable for its enthusiasm and dedication, lacks a crucial balance. You must learn to harmonize your activities with adequate rest. Start by creating a sleep routine. Go to bed at the same time each night and wake up at the same time each morning. This regularity aids your body's internal clock. Sleepy nodded, understanding the wisdom in her words. The concept of a routine was new to him. His life in the garden had always been spontaneous and unstructured. Next, create a restful environment, she advised. Find a quiet, comfortable spot in the garden for your sleep. Make it a place where you can relax and feel safe. The elder snail also suggested some relaxation techniques. Before you sleep, try some slow, deep breathing. It helps calm the mind and body and limit your activities as it gets dark. Nighttime is for rest, not for play or work. Sleepy felt a sense of clarity and purpose as he listened. He was beginning to see how these changes could positively impact his life. Remember, Sleepy, the elder snail concluded, change takes time and patience. Be kind to yourself as you adapt to this new routine. Thanking the elder snail, Sleepy left with a heart full of gratitude and a mind brimming with ideas. He was ready to embark on this journey of transformation. The thought of waking up feeling refreshed and energized filled him with hope. Night, he would begin his new sleep routine, stepping into a world where rest and activity danced in harmony. Empowered by the elder snail's advice, Sleepy spent the rest of the day pondering over his new sleep routine. He was determined to make a change, but he also knew it wouldn't be easy to break his old habits. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, Sleepy started his preparations. He chose a quiet spot under a large, leafy fern near a gentle stream. The soothing sound of the water and the sheltered location made an ideal place for rest. He then set about making the area comfortable. He cleared away small pebbles and twigs, creating a smooth, soft bed of soil. The cool, damp earth felt comforting against his body. This would be his sanctuary, a place dedicated to rest and rejuvenation. As darkness enveloped the garden, Sleepy realized this was usually the time he would be finishing up his last activities or playing with his friends. It felt strange to be winding down instead. He missed the usual buzz of the garden at night, but he reminded himself of the importance of what he was doing. Following Little Snail's advice, Sleepy began some deep breathing exercises. He inhaled slowly, feeling the cool night air fill his lungs, then exhaled gently, releasing the day's tensions. The rhythm of his breathing helped calm his mind, and gradually, the thoughts of missed activities and responsibilities began to fade away. Sleepy also reflected on his day, a practice the elder snail suggested to help clear his mind before sleep. He thought about the morning sunrise, the fun he had with the ants, and the wisdom shared by the elder snail. These reflections brought a sense of peace and contentment. Finally, as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Sleepy felt his eyelids grow heavy. He let himself sink into the soft earth, embracing the tranquility of the moment. For the first time in a long while, he wasn't fighting sleep. He was welcoming it. That night, Sleepy slept more soundly than he had in months. He didn't toss and turn or wake up in the middle of the night. Instead, he drifted into a deep, restorative sleep, his body and mind at ease. When he awoke the next morning, Sleepy felt different. He was refreshed, energized, and ready to face the day. The heaviness that had clouded his days was gone, replaced by a lightness and clarity. He smiled, realizing the impact a good night's sleep could have. Sleepy's decision to change his sleeping habits marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He knew it would take time to fully adjust, but he was ready for the journey. With each passing night, he looked forward to the restful sleep that awaited him, knowing it was the key to a happier, healthier life in the garden. With his newfound commitment to better sleep, Sleepy embraced his new routine with enthusiasm. Each evening, as the garden's palette shifted from bright daylight to the softer tones of dusk, he prepared for his nightly ritual. He began by slowly winding down his activities. Instead of rushing from one task to the next, he took his time, savoring the beauty of the garden as it prepared for nightfall. The vibrant colors of the flowers seemed more vivid, the gentle rustling of leaves and the evening breeze sounded like music to his ears. As the days passed, Sleepy began to notice significant improvements in his well-being. He woke up each morning, feeling revitalized. His energy levels were consistent throughout the day, and his mood had improved. He was more present in his interactions and more productive in his tasks. The garden. Sleepy's commitment to better sleep also impacted his dreams. For the first time, he experienced vivid, colorful dreams that left him feeling inspired upon waking. These dreams were an immense source of joy and wonder, opening up a world he never knew existed. One morning, after a particularly restful night, Sleepy met the elder snail. He shared his experiences and the positive changes he had noticed. The elder snail listened with a warm, gratified smile. "We've taken the first step towards a balanced life, Sleepy," she said. "Remember, sleep is not a luxury, but a necessity. It's the foundation upon which a healthy, fulfilling life is built." Encouraged by her words, Sleepy felt a sense of accomplishment. He had taken control of his well-being, learning invaluable lesson in the process. As he guided through the garden, his heart was full of gratitude for the journey he had embarked upon. This first step to better sleep was just the beginning. Sleepy looked forward to continuing his journey, eager to see how his new lifestyle would further unfold and enrich his life in the garden. Chapter 2. Moonlit Mysteries. The transformation in Sleepy. His life was not just felt by him, but also observed by everyone in the garden. His renewed energy and positive demeanor were like a breath of fresh air. Sleepy's curiosity about sleep had also grown. He wanted to understand more about the science behind it and how it could further enhance his life. One evening, as the moon cast a silver glow over the garden, Sleepy visited the elder snail again, seeking to deepen his understanding. "Edgar," he began, "I felt incredible changes since I started my new sleep routine. And I'm curious, how exactly does sleep work? Why does it have such a profound impact?" The elder snail smiled, pleased with Sleepy's inquisitive nature. "Well, Sleepy," she started, "sleep is a complex process. It involves several stages, each important in its own way. For snails and many creatures, sleep occurs in cycles, moving through different phases." She explained that sleep was divided into multiple cycles, each consisting of various stages. There's the light sleep stage, where you begin to drift off, and the deep sleep stage, where your body does most of its healing and growing. Then, there's the REM and movement stage, where most dreaming occurs. Sleepy listened, fascinated. He realized that his improved sleep quality might be due to him finally experiencing these different stages properly. The key, Sleepy, is to have uninterrupted sleep, allowing your body to complete these cycles. This is why a regular sleep schedule is essential. It helps activate an internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, aligning your sleep patterns with the natural day-night cycle. The elder snail's words resonated with Sleepy. He understood now why his new routine made such a difference. It wasn't just about sleeping more, it was about sleeping right. Inspired, Sleepy thanked the elder snail and made his way back to his sleeping spot, his mind alive with new information. As it nestled into his cozy bed under the fern, he gazed at the moon, pondering the mysteries of sleep. Tonight, as he closed his eyes, he felt a deeper appreciation for the journey. For the different stages of sleep he was about to embark upon. The following night, Sleepy gathered with his friends under the light of the full moon. It was a tradition in the garden for everyone to share stories and legends during such nights. Tonight, Sleepy had a special tale to share, one that he had heard from the elder snail, known as the tale of the Moonlit Snail. As his friends settled around him, Sleepy began his story. Once upon a time, in a garden far away, lived a snail named Luna. Luna, like other snails, was awake at night and slept during the day. She was fascinated by the moon and the stars and loved nothing more than exploring the garden under the soft glow of the moonlight. Luna believed that the moon held magical powers that could give wisdom and strength. Every night, she would climb to the highest leaf of the tallest tree to talk to the moon, sharing her dreams and fears. The moon, in turn, would listen and often whisper secrets of the night, teaching Luna about the importance of balance in life. The moon explained that just as it balanced the darkness of night with its gentle light, Luna needed to balance her nocturnal adventures with restful sleep during the day. Over time, Luna realized that her conversations with the moon weren't just whimsical interactions. They were lessons in understanding the rhythms of her own body. She learned that while her adventures at night were exhilarating, her daytime sleep was just as crucial. The tale of Moonlit, the Moonlit Snail, teaches us about harmony and balance, Sleepy concluded. It reminds us that while it's important to pursue our passions, we must also have the gift of rest. The garden creatures were captivated by the story. They had always seen Sleepy as an adventurous and energetic snail, but now they also saw him as a wise storyteller, sharing insights about life's balance. After the story, Sleepy's friends began to discuss their own sleep habits and the importance of rest. It was a heartwarming sight for Sleepy, seeing how his own journey was now inspiring the others to reflect on their well-being. As the gathering came to an end, and his friends dispersed, Sleepy made his way to his sleeping spot, feeling a sense of fulfillment. The story of Luna had not only entertained his friends, but also reinforced his own understanding of the precious balance between wakefulness and sleep. Under the serene light of the moon, Sleepy drifted into sleep, his heart and mind at peace, knowing he was living a life in harmony with the natural rhythms of the world. As Sleepy continued his journey towards better sleep, he began to develop a series of nighttime rituals that helped him transition from the activities of the day to the restful state of night. These rituals became an integral part of his routine, signaling to his body and mind that it was time to wind down. Every evening, as the sky turned a dusky purple and the first stars appeared, Sleepy started his rituals. He began with a slow, leisurely crawl around the garden, a way of saying goodnight to his friends and the plants. This quiet meander was not just a physical activity. It was a meditative practice that helped him reflect on the day and gradually on any lingering thoughts or worries. Next, the Sleepy would find a spot to drink some dewdrops. This night dehydration was refreshing and calming, preparing his body for sleep. He would then wake his way to his sleeping spot under the fern, where he had created a comfortable and serene environment. Once there, Sleepy practiced deep breathing exercises. He focused on his breath, taking slow, deliberate breaths that calmed his nervous system and eased him into a state of relaxation. This practice was not only soothing, but also a way for Sleepy to connect with his body and be present in the moment. Finally, before closing his eyes, Sleepy would spend a few moments in gratitude, thinking about the things he was thankful for. It could be the warmth of the sun that day, the fun he had with his friends, over the simple beauty of the garden. This practice of gratitude filled him with a sense of contentment and peace, setting a positive tone for his sleep. These rituals became a cherished part of Sleepy's day. They helped him create a boundary between the hustle and bustle of daytime activities to a quiet, restful period of night. Over time, he noticed that these practices not only improved his sleep quality, but also enhanced his overall well-being. He fell asleep faster, slept more deeply, and woke up feeling more refreshed and rejuvenated. Sleepy's dedication to his nighttime rituals demonstrated his commitment to maintain a healthy balance in his life. He had come to understand that these small, consistent practices were key to his physical and mental health, and he cherished them as an essential part of his journey to wellness. As Sleepy integrated his new sleep habits into his daily life, he faced challenges that tested his resolve. There were nights when the garden was abuzz with activity, tempting him to revert to his old ways. And such nights, the fireflies would put on spectacular light shows, or the crickets would organize grand concerts. The allure of these events tugged at Sleepy, his adventurous spirit, making it difficult for him to stick to his sleep routine. One particular evening, a celebration was being held to welcome the summer solstice. The entire garden was alive with excitement, and every creature was invited to partake in the festivities. The air was filled with music, laughter, and the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Sleepy felt a strong desire to join his friends and be part of the celebration. As he watched everyone gather, Sleepy felt torn. Part of him yearned to be in the midst of the festivity, but another part reminded him of the importance of his sleep routine. He remembered the words of the elder snail about bounce and the lessons he had learned about the significance of rest. With a heavy heart, Sleepy decided to forego the celebration. He acknowledged his feelings of missing out, but also recognized the importance of staying true to his commitment to better sleep. He quietly retreated to his sleeping spot under the fern, feeling a mix of sadness and determination. As Sleepy lay there, trying to sleep amid the distant sounds of celebration, he realized that maintaining his sleep routine would not always be easy. There would be times when he would have to make tough choices, sacrificing immediate pleasures for his long-term well-being. However, as the night progressed, Sleepy found comfort in his decision. He focused on his breathing and gradually drifted into a peaceful sleep. Then he awoke the next morning, refreshed and rejuvenated. He knew he had made the right choice. Yeah, he'd missed a night of fun. He had gained something far more valuable, the strength to stay true to his commitments with knowledge that his well-being was a priority. This experience is a pivotal moment for Sleepy. It reinforced his understanding of the importance of consistency in his sleep routine and the need to sometimes make difficult decisions to maintain his health and happiness. It was a lesson in self-discipline and the value of prioritizing one's own needs. Sleepy's journey was not just about learning to sleep better. It was about learning to live better. By staying on track with his sleep routine, Sleepy was not only improving his nights, but also enhancing his days. He was becoming a more balanced, fulfilled, and resilient snail. In the days that followed his decision to skip the summer solstice celebration, Sleepy's commitment to his sleep routine became a topic of conversation among the garden inhabitants. His friends who had noticed his absence at the festivities were initially puzzled by his choice. However, as Sleepy explained his reasons and shared the improvements he had experienced in his health and well-being, their puzzlement turned into admiration. The ladybugs, who were among his closest friends, were particularly impressed. They had always known Sleepy to be fun-loving and adventurous, so his discipline in prioritizing sleep was a new facet of his personality he hadn't seen before. "We miss you at our evening games, Sleepy," they said. "But we see how much happier and energetic you are. It's inspiring." The ants, who valued hard work and discipline, expressed their support as well. "You're setting a great example, Sleepy," they remarked. "Perhaps we should consider our own sleep habits. We could all benefit from being more rested." Even the bees, who were usually too busy with their pollination duties to engage in lengthy conversations, buzzed their approval. "Your commitment to health is admirable, Sleepy," they hummed. "A realistic garden is a more productive and harmonious one." This encouragement from his friends meant the world to Sleepy. It strengthened his resolve and made the challenges he faced seem less daunting. When he had the support and understanding of his community gave him a sense of belonging and purpose. Encouraged by his friends' reactions, Sleepy started sharing more about what he had learned about sleep. He talked about sleep cycles, the importance of a regular sleep schedule, and the benefits of having a bedtime routine. His friends listened with interest, and some began to make small changes in their own sleep habits. As the days passed, the garden began to transform in subtle ways. Creatures who had adjusted their sleep schedules were brighter and more energetic. There was a noticeable increase in positivity and productivity throughout the garden. Sleepy's influence had sparked a change, creating a ripple effect that improved the lives of many. This newfound role as a sleep advocate was something Sleepy embraced wholeheartedly. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment in being able to help others. The garden was not just a place where he lived. It was a community he cared for, and seeing it thrive made his heart swell with joy. Sleepy's journey had started as a personal quest for better sleep, but it had grown into something much larger. It was a testament to the power of one individual's change to inspire and uplift an entire community. As Sleepy nestled into his sleeping spot under the fern each night, he did so with a heart full of gratitude for the support of his friends and the shared journey towards a healthier, happier garden.